Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the horror miser, Monty G, trying to review the latest remake, reboot, reimagining film. This is based upon the 1992 thriller film of the same name. Yes, this is The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 2025. Yes.
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the horror miser, Monty G. Now, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 2025 is a 2025 American thriller film. This was directed by Michelle Garza Severa and the screenplay written by Mika Bloomberg. Now, the film stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Makika Monroe, Raul Castillo, and Martin Starr. Now, in the film, an upscale suburban mom brings in a new nanny, Polly Murphy, into her home, only to discover she's not the person she claims to be. Oh no. You know, horror fans, I should say thriller fans, with the success of the 1987 erotic thriller film Fatal Attraction, movie studios tried their best to duplicate that movie's success with several thrillers with a similar premise. In 1992, we saw several films that were released that year that had a premise where we had an unstable person, whether it's a cop, a neighbor, or your best friend, that would become obsessed with a certain individual, leading to disastrous results. Films like Unlawful Entry, Single White Female, and Poison Ivy were examples of those films that had a similar premise like Fatal Attraction. In typical Hollywood fashion, this is what they do because anytime when they're a successful movie, Hollywood studios follow the trends, and this is what they do. They want to duplicate that success because they think that that film is going to be just as successful as Fatal Attraction was. So that's why we got hit with all these films like Fatal Attraction. Now, one of the best ones that came out that year was The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, which stars Rebecca DeMone as the wife of an obstetrician who seeks revenge on one of his patients who accused him of sexual misconduct, causing him to commit suicide, and unfortunately, she winds up having a miscarriage. Oh man, that was terrible. Now, that film was a box office success, making over $140 million on just a budget of $11.9 million, and Rebecca DeMone was praised by critics for her performance. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people who've seen that film knows how popular that film was. It's almost like as popular as Fatal Attraction was than The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, mainly because of Rebecca DeMone, because she was a very attractive woman and she did a pretty good job, just like Glenn Close did in Fatal Attraction. So, Mexican filmmaker Michelle Garza Severa brings us her latest product, a remake of that 1992 thriller of the same name, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 2025. Now, here we're introduced to attorney Caitlin Morales, who goes into labor after meeting Polly Murphy, a young woman who's facing homelessness, gives birth to a baby girl who she names Josie. We later see that Caitlin is having a difficult time managing Josie and her ruly, bratty daughter Emma when she runs into Polly again. What a coincidence. After successfully being a very good babysitter for both Emma and Josie, Caitlin, along with her husband Miguel, hire Polly as their nanny and allow her to move into their guest home. This, of course, will lead to a series of events where we come to find out that Polly is hiding secrets and that she isn't the person who she claims to be. Ooh. Now, I'm sure many people, especially fans of the 1992 film, were not happy when this remake was announced. We should know by now that Hollywood and movie studios are simply going to remake, reboot, and reimagine any successful film or IP to make money. I mean, I've had this conversation plenty of times when there are remakes to be made because this is what Hollywood does. This is what the film industry does. They have an established IP. They have a film that we haven't seen for a long time that's successful, and they're going to make a remake on it. I mean, come on. They remade Fatal Attraction, not as a movie, but as a series. I think it came on either earlier this year or last year, It starred Joshua Jackson from Friends and Lizzie Chapman from Cloverfield. They played the characters that Michael Douglas and Glenn Close were. And I really haven't heard anyone talk about it, but it was only one season, and then I think it was Apple TV. They canceled after one season. But hey, look, if they're going to remake Fatal Attraction, then you know they're going to remake this one. It's just what Hollywood does now. Now, for this particular film, it was nice to see that Michelle Garza-Rivera was picked to direct Drusilla, coming off her successful film of the 2020 psychological body horror film Herzera, The Bone Woman. Now, I never saw The Bone Woman before, but I believe my good friend Jen from Jen's Reviews from the Grave, she actually saw it. She really did enjoy it. I think that film got a lot of praise. I think at some film festival, it got an award, and a lot of people praise Michelle for her direction. I think her writing, I think she directed and wrote it, and everyone thought, "Hey, look, she's gonna looks like she's gonna become an up and coming director." And while it was good that the filmmakers believed in Michelle, it seemed that Disney didn't believe in this movie as it wasn't released in theaters, as they dumped this on their Hulu streaming services. And after seeing the film, I can see why Disney didn't release this, because this would have been a box office bomb, because this film is flat, it is dull, it is boring. Uh, Nothing really happened in this particular film. Oh my God, what a waste of talent. Now, I have to give Michael Bloomberg credit, as he has made some changes to the original 1992 film. They don't do basically the same things as in this film as they did in the 92 film. There are some changes, significant changes, so I would have to say. Now, unlike the Peyton Flanders character, we have a whole different character with Polly, as she isn't married like Peyton was in the original film, and she isn't pregnant either. So that's one big difference that we have in this film, because Molly isn't pregnant. She wasn't married to an obstetrician. The obstetrician person didn't kill herself. There are other reasons what Polly is doing here, which I'll discuss later. Now, the film does follow the same beats as the original film, as Polly integrates herself into Claire's family, Caitlin's family, and while at the same time making Caitlin look unstable and fragile. There are some interesting things that Polly does to Caitlin, which I will not reveal in his one, but it does look like she's trying her best to destroy Caitlin. But as I stated before, the problem with this film is, again, it's dull, it's flat, it's boring, because there is no tension and suspense like we had in the original film. It seems like Michelle and the rest of the filmmaker are simply just going through the motions when it comes to Polly and her shenanigans against Caitlin. I mean, in the original film, we can see at times Peyton's or Mrs. Mott's frustrations or anger when it comes to Claire. That was Annabelle Scarilla's character in the original film, and how she hates this particular woman because what she did, what she feels as though was her fault for her husband to kill herself, for her to miscarry, and then basically losing everything because of her accusations. But here, we don't get there here. We don't get any emotions. There is no emotional ties to Peyton or Caitlin in this particular film. And I think that's mainly because there's no real character development for Polly or Caitlin for the audience to care about it, what is happening to what Polly is doing and to Caitlin's family, or for them to care about Caitlin or her family whatsoever. It's just simply just two people going through the motions, and that's it. No, you really can't fault the actors, as both Michaela Moore Monroe and Mary Elizabeth Winstead do what they can for Polly and Caitlin, but the script doesn't allow them to do anything more to elevate this film. I mean, they have some chemistry together. I like the back and forth that they have, but unfortunately, it's just flat. Even good actresses, as we've seen with Malika and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, they're both good actresses, but the script doesn't allow them to do anything other than to spout lines. And Raul Castillo, he's wasted in this film, and he seems to be here only because he's an attractive dude that Caitlin's married to, and then for Polly to seduce him, since they're all attractive people. I mean, it's like you got a bunch of cute, very attractive actors and actresses in this film, so that they can look good in front of the camera. So that way, we see Raul without his shirt on, and he's married to a very attractive Caitlin, and we see Polly trying to seduce him. It doesn't work. It just, again, dull, boring, flat. Now, when the reasons for Polly's actions are revealed, it's different than the original film, and I believe that Micah was trying his best to shock the audience. But because of the lack of any character development, it doesn't have the shock value that I believe Micah and the rest of the filmmakers were looking for. I mean, when you actually take a look at the first part, because it comes in two parts, which I think is kind of too much exposition. Could have been a better way for them to present Polly's reasons as why she's going after Caitlin. And it's told in expositions, and unfortunately, it has to do with what we saw in the beginning of the film, which I won't reveal. But we get some of that revealed in one part, and then we get the rest of that revealed by the end of the film. And while you might see some, I guess you might feel sorry for both women, but it comes off as, again, doesn't have that punch, that emotional punch that you, I believe, that Micah was going for, because you see that and say, okay, all right, uh, wow, there's no emotional heartbeats there, because if you're going to review something like that, there has to be some emotional outlet. But unfortunately, since there's no character development, we don't get anything from it. And another problem that I have while watching the film is that you have to suspend your belief on some of the things you're watching, but the film just goes too far that I know that wouldn't happen in real life. There's a part in this particular film, which I won't reveal, having to do with Caitlin. And I'm like, wait a minute, you wouldn't do that in real life. This is modern technology here. You wouldn't just do that one particular thing, and that's that. Especially in this date and time, when you're trying to have somebody that you just met wanted to be a babysitter for your kids, and then a nanny, and this is the only thing you do, and that's it. Come on now. It's just too many weird things right going on in this world right now. You just do that one thing, and that's that. I mean, it's sad because I really expected more from the director that gave us a decent horror film from The Bone Woman. But all we have here is a dull and flat thriller that, despite the decent acting that we got from Makia and Elizabeth, uh, this is a movie that could have been on the Lifetime channel, and for all I know, and then from what I understand, I actually believe that there are better movies that have aired on the Lifetime channel than this piece of crap that I just saw here. So I'm going to give The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 2025. I was really not wanting to do this because I wanted to at least give the film some credit, but unfortunately, because this film is so dull and so flat and so uninteresting, I can only give it one out of the miser's five bloody coins, because that's how flat and dull and boring this movie is. And as much as I enjoyed the two women actors, I thought they did a good job. It's just too boring. It's just too flat. So only one out of the miser's five bloody coins. So there you have it, horror fans. That is my video and review of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 2025. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share. Please help out with that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen The Hand That Rocks the Cradle 2025? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was just as dull and boring as I thought? Leave your comments in your comment section below and tell you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, that way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Excuse me. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Money G, and always remember, horror rules. And I see you in my next video. I gotta stay safe out there.